tell you about relaxation. Not a soft, convenient App Store version of relaxation. No, I'm talking about the kind that required mild suffering, emotional discipline, and possibility a small ceremony. I'm talking about records. A record, as objectively speaking, the most inefficient way to relax. You must first own your piece. You assembled the equipment like a priest prepare an altar. You removed vinyl and record with relevance. You inspected for dust like a paranoid detectives. You lower the needle with the precision of a bomb technician. And only then are you allowed to relax. It's a beautiful paradox. To rest your mind, you must first exhaust it. But perhaps that's the point in a world where everything is instant, effortless, and suspiciously smooth. True relaxation now hides behind inconvenience, like a secret club. Password required, entry fee, patience. Meanwhile, somewhere in the dark, glowing blue light of 2 a.m., people are clutching their phones, scrolling themselves into existential despair, whispering, "Why cannot I sleep?" And in another dimension, quieter, slower, slightly dustier, the record people are winning silently. Because they understand that something dangerous, inconvenience, is luxury. A record player doesn't just play music, it demands a ritual, a process, a commitment. You don't tap once like some obedience servant of algorithms. No, you participated. You collaborated with time itself. It's the opposite of convenience. It's forced slowness, a hostage situation that make it aesthetic. And then there's the sound, the crackings. Once upon a time, we call it noise, flow, a defect, something to eliminate. Now, now we call it warmth, texture, ambience. Humanity has evolved, perhaps developed, to the point where statics is comforting. White noise, please give me emotion noises. Give me the sonic equivalent of a fireplace that occasionally judge me. At this point, if the gentle crackle smoothing your soul, there are only two possibilities. Either your mind has reached a higher state of enlightenment, or it has quietly given up the signed a long-term contract with nostalgia. And the warm sound of records, let's be honest, it's distortion, it's imperfection, it's everything digital audio works so hard to eliminate. And yet we crave it, perfection. It turns out is exhausting. If you cannot sweep it with flawless, crystal clear skin, congratulations, you are perfectly, critically tired of being alive in high definition. Slightly crooked sound, that's where the magic is. That's where reality loses its tie and says, you know what? Close enough. And the greatest tricks of all, you fall asleep mid-album, 20 minutes in, and the music fades, and needle keeps gently scratching like a tiny, persistent philosopher asking questions no one answers, and somehow what sound becomes a lullaby. At that point, it's not music anymore, it's a legal anesthesia. In today's world, people talk about decision fatigue. Too many choices, too many options. It's overwhelming. But record solves this beautifully. You stand in front of your shelf. You stare, you click it on. 15 minutes passes. You realize you cannot read it, tiny text. You don't even remember what's in the album. You question your identity, your past, your taste. By the time you decide, your brain is already tired enough to sleep. You never even reach the music. The system works. And then comes a time travel. Drop the needle on an old record. Suddenly, no smartphone, no notification, no social media, just a slower, quieter world that may or may not have actually been bad, but feels like it was. You sit there suspended between nostalgia and denial and think, I'm not avoiding reality. I'm curating my experience. Say, I prefer analogs. Suddenly everything becomes stylish. Even your confusions, even your poor life decision. You're not lost. You're intentional. You are not struggling. You're vintage. Leave a record player in your room and people assume that culture, complexity, you could be doing absolutely nothing and still look like someone whose opinions about jazz is powerful. Records are not just music, they are the aesthetic of regression, carefully curated inconvenience, a beautifully packed copy mechanism for modern existence. Honestly, it works. If the silence of the night feels too loud, join us. Just lower the needles. Let the noise a space for you. People will ask me, what's your way of relaxing? And I answer very calmly. I listen to records, watch a fire on a fireplace, stare at candlelight, and gaze out the sea. It sounds poetic, cinematic, almost suspiciously perfect. Time merits. the world softens. I became briefly a master of relaxation, a philosopher of stillness. Person who definitely has their life together, and then I return to reality. And waiting for me is mountains of work, so aggressive it feels personal. My desk looks like a graveyard of burnout candles, wax everywhere, hope questionable. And that's when I understood some things. Regulation is a law. You grow peace from your universe, and rating with interest, reality collects. So now, as I sit by the fire, watching the flames dance like they know some things I don't, I find myself thinking, how exactly am I going to repair this next time? And just when I thought life couldn't get more mysterious, a galette appeared. No warnings, no explanation, just one morning as I had accidentally wandered onto a Parisian cafe, Paris cafe and the parallel universe. There it was, a thin, slightly burned desk, and egg trembled in the center like it had secrets, bacons and ham lounging around as they owned that place. I stared at it. It stared back. What? What are you? I whispered uncannily. How do you eat this? Knife? Fork? Hands? Do you fold it? Respect it? Negotiate with it? On me, everyone was calm, arrogant, civilized. They sliced it neatly, like this was obvious, like this wasn't a philosophical crisis. I panicked quietly. Was this pizza? No, too thin, too refined, too French. Good things I didn't grab it with my hands. That would have been the end of my social career. I copied the others carefully, slowly, and then the yolk broke. It flowed. Golden, unstoppable, dramatic. I looked at the bed layer of the heading straight for my closet. Ah! I realized not a word, just a sound of a pure survival instinct. I couldn't waste napkins at the last second, and then eye contact. The person next to me smiled, not mockingly, knowingly, like, yes, the Galette chooses a big dance. I regained composure, took a bite, and suddenly everything made sense. It was incredible. Savory cheeses and salty meat, a soft egg and delicate buckwheat crepe. It was like my taste bud had been gently invited to France without a passport. A quiet breeze of somewhere else passing through me, and there is something important when encountering elegant food. Do not panic. It can smell, feel, stay calm, pretending you belong, even if internally you are negotiating with an egg. Because life, much like a record or mysterious galette, is less about understanding what's happening and more about committing to a performance.